Hey music friends, this is Davi Vasc, and this is kind of a weird video. I wanted to have kind of a one-on-one talk with you guys, with my dear music friends, and this is a video that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I thought to myself, well, who cares, who's gonna want to hear me ramble about this stuff? But then a couple of weeks ago I saw a tweet. So the tweet is this guy said, as an adult, playing video games for long periods of time is a form of depression. If you don't believe me, ask yourself this. Think about the 100 greatest moments of your life. Do any of those moments include video games? Probably not. And this comes from a lifetime gamer. And man, how do you feel about this? Do you agree with this? When I saw this tweet, I knew I had to talk about this, because I went into the comments of this tweet and I thought to myself, man, people are gonna be destroying this guy in the comments. But a lot of the comments were agreeing with him, which made me kind of sad, because the views that this guy expressed here, this is almost like a one-to-one. The opposite is like the antithesis of what I stand for, and the reason why I created this channel, and the reason why I became a music composer for games in the first place. This is all that I try to push against in my career. So today I want to talk to you guys about that, about us, about us, you and me, our generation of people, the young people of between 20 and 30 something years, us. So why is our generation of people so attracted to video games? Why do you spend so much time? Some people tell me in the comments that they binge watch my content. Why do you spend so much time watching this channel, caring so much about video game music? What does video game music actually do for us? Because I feel like a lot of this argument from the tweet comes from a very materialistic and simplistic view of the world and of humanity in general, especially when it comes to generations that precede ours, older generations, and this sometimes bleeds into our generation as well. Like, people will grab a thing, this is their whole view of life and the world. They will grab a thing and they will go, what is this? What can I do with this? How can I use this? Can I use it as a tool for something? Can I use it as a hat? Can I make money out of it somehow? Can I use it? Can I profit from it somehow? And when these people look at video games, they see something useless. They see something that has no use and is just a waste of time for losers. So let me address that. What video game music actually does for you. What is it? What it does. So I'm gonna blow your mind right now. Check this out. Art is when you take a belief, an ideal, an image, something that exists only in your head, is an image, is an abstraction. You take that belief and you transform it into something physical. You transform it into something that you can see. So maybe in the mind of a painter, there's a very beautiful image that only he can see in his mind, but he transforms that into something physical that exists in the real world, which is a painting, right? So you take ideas, you take beliefs, and you transform them in something physical that you can see and touch and feel. And it's so beautiful to think that, when you listen to something like Proof of a Hero from Monster Hunter, those ideals, those beliefs of heroism, of courage, of victory are imbued there into that music. And it doesn't matter what you're going through in life. You could be, depressed. You could be having a hard time in life. You could be at the bottom of the pit, but you listen to Proof of a Hero and you feel that heroism. You feel victorious. You feel like you can be courageous, and it's real. You can feel those emotions in real life. It's real. It's there. And in that moment, you realize that your mind is capable of feeling those sensations. And this heroism, this sensation exists in the real world, and I can now manifest it in my own life, because now I know what it looks like, I know what it feels like through video game music, through art. Or you could play like a Dark Souls game, for example, and experience the beauty and the melancholy of the theme of those games, of the cycle of decay, you know, and of death. And it makes you notice the beauty of something that is temporal, something that fades, and it makes you really want to make the most out of every minute that you have, because you know it's everything is fading, everything is decaying. So great, if video games are so great and video game music is so important to us, why are there people that think like the guy in the tweet? And like I said, this is a bigger discussion about what I talked about this materialistic view of human beings and of life. And I feel like this view has been getting better, but it has been prevalent in older generations. You know, our parents and grandparents and great-grandparents, I feel like they are a generation that have, to a certain extent, due to a lot of factors, renounced art. And it's that kind of materialistic thing of being successful and being a human being on Earth means acquiring the resources that you need to live, and that's it, that's success. Being a human being on Earth means having food, water, shelter, and that's it. And that's not true. There's so much more to the human soul, to the human spirit, than these physical things, you know. We are more than that. And don't get me wrong, I don't mean to put you against your parents or your grandparents or any of that. I don't think any of that, even the guy in the tweet, I don't think any of that is said with malicious intent. And a large part of it, actually, the fault of it in a large part lies with art itself, you know, the way modern art presents itself to the common people, and how a lot of modern art makes people question their ability to understand art. Does that make sense? A lot of people nowadays, they feel like they are incapable of understanding art. And this is another thing that I always say here in the channel. Everyone is capable of understanding and engaging deeply with art. And it's interesting that in the tweet of this guy here, he says, as an adult, playing video games for long periods of time is a form of depression. So as an adult, he specifies this. So for kids, it's fine, but for adults, it's inappropriate. So, and I've seen this time and time again, and if you're an artist or a musician, you have seen this times and times again, people relegating art to a childish thing, which has always been something very interesting to me, because there is in fact a childish aspect to art. To me, that's one of the greatest appeals of it. There is a childlike wonder to playing a video game, you know, to listening to these heroic fantasy songs. There is an element in almost every video game of, you know, adventure and exploration and curiosity, right? And, you know, as an adult, I think you should be mature, right? I think you should be responsible as an adult, but also as an adult, I think you should be adventurous, which is a childish characteristic. I think you should be curious and sincere, which are childish characteristics. So it seems to me that these kind of people, they see that kind of childlike, wide-eyed sparkle in people, and it makes them upset that it reminds them of what they renounced, you know, of that enthusiasm and that sparkle that people like you and me have when we enjoy art, when we witness these beautiful worlds in the games that we play. It reminds them of what they gave up. But then that's where video games come up, because I think video games resonated so strongly with our generation, partly because of that childlike aspect, that adventurous and wondrous aspect of video games, right? It resonated so deeply with us And I'm very happy nowadays to see the cultural movement around video games, because it feels like a re-renaissance. You know, as a consequence of studying a lot of music, I end up studying a lot of history too. And you know, in case you don't know this yet, but the best writers in the world right now are working on video games. The best artists are working on video games. The best composers are working on video games. So it's just such a rich world of art and beauty and inspiration, and it makes me so happy to see young people like you and me engaging deeply with these games and with this music. And you know, if you go to the comments in any of my videos, you will see walls and walls of text of people actually getting inspired and getting meaning, like real meaning, from these songs, from these video game songs, and interpreting and engaging very deeply with this art. And you know, I receive a lot of messages from viewers in the channel saying stuff like, man, I'm going through a hard time, I'm facing this problem and that problem, and I'm depressed, but your videos have helped me get meaning from this music, and I've learned to appreciate this music, and your videos are so important to me. I mean, needless to say, I love this kind of message, but it demonstrates ultimately what the value of video game music is, and it answers the question of why you keep watching these videos and why I keep making them, why I keep making video game music, and why I keep talking about it. It's because ultimately the value lies in contemplating these ideals that I talked about of heroism and courage and adventure, and even ones that might seem negative like loss and decay and tragedy. Contemplating these values and reflecting on them, this is the stuff that keeps us going. Reflecting on our values, on our ideals, that kind of stuff prepares us and teaches us so much about what it means to live as a human being. So when you face a situation where you need to be courageous and heroic, you know what that looks like because you have seen it. You have seen it in real life expressed through art. And when you hear a song like from a Dark Souls game or from a Hollow Knight game, something that deals with sadness and grief and loneliness, it makes you think about the good things that you have in your life, the things of value that you have, because you know there can only be sadness because on the other hand there's happiness. And so in that sense, the darkness that you see in these tragedies portrayed in art remind you of how bright the light is in the good things that we have, and it reminds you to make the most out of every minute that you have. So yeah guys, I just had to get this off my chest, and let me know, do you agree with this tweet? I'm actually really interested to know, in case if you agree, what are your thoughts on it, and if you disagree also, I'm very interested to know, and let me know what video game music means to you. Like I always say, whenever you're ready to go on another music journey, to listen to video game music, to talk about music, video game music, to appreciate video game music, I will most definitely be here for you. That's what I've set out to do, right? To share video game music with each other and inspire each other. That's what I'm here for. That's what this channel is here for. That's what I've set out to do in my career. So yeah, whenever you're ready to spread your wings and go on a music journey again, I will see you there.